Okay, let's have a look at the answers to these puzzles. First let's tackle the easy one. So it's white to play and mate in 1. Are any of these squares safe for the black king? Well, the g5 knight covers 2 of the squares, and the h6 pawn covers the final square, leaving the black king with nowhere to go. It's tempting to move the h6 pawn forward to give check, but then the black king could escape to g7. So are there any other pieces that can give check? The medium puzzle is mate in 2. Can the black king move to any of these squares? The bishop attacks along this diagonal. The queen attacks along this diagonal. How many white pieces attack f6? 3. The rook, the bishop, and the e5 pawn. And how many black pieces defend f6? Only 2. The king and the knight. And that is a big problem for black. Let's rip through the hard puzzle then. Usually, if the enemy king is surrounded, you look to see what your knights can do. But we don't have any knights, so that idea is useless. However, black is in a terrible position. The kingside rook and bishop haven't woken up yet, and the queen has gone hunting by herself, leaving the black knight pinned to the king and the other rook stuck defending it. So how can white take advantage of the mess black is in? We could take advantage of the pin. Black has no way of saving the knight, but we can do better. We should always investigate checks. When you give check, you know that your opponent has to move out of check, and this makes thinking ahead easier. This is the only check, so let's investigate it. How would black get out of check? Black would have to take the queen with the rook, but how does that help? We can give check with the rook, but black would just move the rook back to block. All these arrows in your head. After all these moves, white could give checkmate, but can you spot it? How did you get on? The rook can't block the bishop check because it's pinned.